Hello and welcome to 3.0 TV. I'm your host Parvati Nirban once again, and we are beginning with the second segment of this show. I want to go to Ms. Taylor and ask more about these NFTs. First is the Pixie, Pride Pixie, and also about the other binary character. We've just touched upon that. We didn't really discuss it. So what is that, and how are you, are you also planning a video form of it, or will it be just the a picture form of it? Can you just describe what is it and the thought behind it also?
So the Pride Pixies have, in their format, they're going to be very similar to like a GIF or like a GIF format. It'll be a simple picture, but on the bottom left-hand corner of the NFT, we will have our rotating True Dream Vision fist, which is essentially how our Pride Pixie NFT collection began and how our Movement.io vision began. When you think about the Pride Pixies collection, you're thinking about the vision to have equality throughout our community, throughout society as a whole. Seeing people who are not necessarily seen in top level opportunities or top level positions as CEOs, as founders, as visionaries, having representation in those spaces is what we're aiming for. So when you see our Pride Pixies, you'll see that they all have various different backgrounds. We have some backgrounds that are dedicated towards influential artists such as Frida Kahlo, as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, influential politicians. We have very bright colors, different skin tones, different identities that you can identify yourself with. And the non-binary collection is essentially what it means is that there is no right or wrong sense of what your gender is and what you want to express yourself like. So when you see a Pride Pixie, if that's how you want to express yourself and that's how you feel you identify, who's to say that that's not how you want to identify? This is your Pixie. This is essentially how you see yourself and how you're proud about yourself, proud to freely express yourself. You have bright hot pink colors. You have different hairstyles, different clothing. And some of the clothing, they have different slogans on them that are very cute and funky. But really, when it comes down to it, you want to see this as an vision and embodiment of who you are. Obviously, there is only a limited amount of Pride Pixies, but when we're talking about our animation and we're talking about the non-binary animation series, that goes to another great length where we want to be able to invest our time and our community, go back into our community. We want to help our community get into those opportunities, such as maybe they want to have an opportunity to speak on this animation series. People who are holders, a lot of them have talents that go unnoticed, and a lot of them have backgrounds that go unnoticed simply because of their sex or their gender or their culture or the color of their skin tone. They are often dismissed or overlooked. So when you think of Pride Pixies and you think of the non-binary animated series, you're thinking of opportunity, you're thinking of representation, and that's exactly what we want, is we want to be able to have our community see themselves within these Pride Pixies.
So how can you just explain, how did you create these NFTs? Did you actually went on drawing these? You digitally created it? How was the process?
So I drew upon some cartoons when I was younger. I used to watch cartoons, representation in the media, where it was a lot of the same thing over and over again. You have the same three superheroes. A lot of them are white or men or strong and buff or looked a certain way. And I really wanted to go back into the 90s nostalgia, the iconic dark outline, the bright in-your-face pop. And then the way that I designed it was I designed each individual attribute. So I designed the eyes, I designed the skin tone, the body, the clothing, each thing individually. And then we ended up using a computer-generated software to randomly generate all of these different attributes to make unique Pride Pixies.
And how about the movie part that you just talked about? Like, if I can touch upon that also, like, are you trying to create something like what Marvel has, if I put it across like that?
So the Pride Pixies are going to be a non-binary animated series where the Pride Pixies have their own backstory. I don't want to get too much in detail with the backstory right now, but what we want to have is we want to see them on the screen with other like-minded collections. I want to see these Pride Pixies flying in the spotlight where we're building a community, not just for ourselves, but a community with other collections such as World of Women, such as the Take of Space, such as the Meta Woman. We want to have these NFT collections that are all putting forth great efforts to change the world all in one place. Obviously, we want to highlight on our Pride Pixies the non-binary individual characteristics where, we're coming to our senses, where we don't have to check boxes as to this is what our gender is, this is what our culture is, or are you different, what your background is. We want them to be known for their individual characteristics, such as, are you an artist? Are you a superhero? Are you a sports fanatic? What makes you unique? Yeah. So that's where we want to come from when we build our animation, and it'll be very exciting to see how it comes along.
So this will be like an animation movie later on, like on Netflix and Amazon, something like that? Is that what your longer vision is? Something like that?
Ideally, yeah. We want to start out as a series, give opportunity to have different things come up on each episode. But eventually down the line, yes, we would love to see a movie.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. I'll be more than curious to see this, actually. And also some of these NFTs, if you can share with us, that will be great. Another thing that I wanted to know is, like you mentioned about the release date of June 1st, 2023. So is this because of the market crash that happened? Were you planning to do it before and then you delayed it, shifted it, or was it always planned for June next year?
I'll speak to that. We wanted to release Pride Pixies in conjunction with Pride Month in the United States. Mm-hmm. So our initial goal was to try and release it this year in 2022. All right. But as we were trying to really create our community, we were finding that we were pushing more towards creating a community of consumers and missing our vision, which is that we're trying to create a community where there is a sense of inclusivity and dignity to the LGBTQIA population that is being lost in the United States due to this terrible legislation, especially in our state, the state of Florida. So we took a step back, and Taylor really was the voice of reason on this and was saying, we want an organic community. Our goal is to remind the LGBTQIA community and the marginalized communities that despite what's happening in the United States and these sweeping laws that appear to be setting back the communities by decades, that they do have a place in society and that they are important and that we need to keep pushing forward towards representation. So in order to really build our organic community where we're educating, where we're focusing on empowerment, where we're trying to remind the community of what the goals are, we decided to push it back to Pride next year because we really want to focus on our Discord, our Instagram, our Twitter spaces, and really start collaborating.
So you wanted to create more awareness, what I understand, yeah?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. It just coincided with the market not doing so great, but we had already decided to push back our date before things started.
Before the market crashes, what you're saying.
They are.
Yeah. So is it somewhere connected to, because there's this new law also came last month, abortion, that women do not have now rights,
Right.
in US.
Yeah. So we had last month the Supreme Court strategically called up a case that would give them the opportunity to change the laws that have been the laws of the land for the last 50 years. And in an unpresidential move, they have stripped away what was previously granted as a constitutional right to persons that can carry children, that they are unable now to be able to have an abortion as a fundamental right in the United States.
So it's still there? I mean, I was shocked too. I didn't even know about it. Like, this is really not really acceptable if you ask. Like, I mean, I am not here to share my viewpoints, but this was shocking to know.
It is shocking. It is shocking. And it basically, it put it back into the individual states. So if you live in a state within the United States that will allow abortion, then you can have your abortion. Otherwise, you have to, if you live in a state that doesn't allow abortion, then you don't have those opportunities, and you would have to actually go into another state, which is a tactic, an apparent tactic to keep down marginalized communities. I mean, an affluent person's going to have no problem crossing state lines to have an abortion if she lives in a state, or they live in a state that has the abortion laws in place. However, people that are on fixed incomes or in situations where they have a lower socioeconomic level and can't miss time from work and can't afford to travel out of state, that's the people who this is really going to affect.
Right. And so this your movement is somewhere connected to that. Like, why I brought this up is for that reason. Because you are working on empowering, you're in the space where you would like to empower women, empower the marginalized community. So is this also connected with that, or are you planning to take something like that?
Well, we definitely, this is a cause that is very great to us, because we do believe that this is a medical decision that should be left to a woman and her doctor, or a person who can bear children and their doctor. This is not a decision that should be imposed by the government. But more importantly, this is a fundamental right that was granted that is now being taken away. And if you look at the dissenting opinion, the concurring opinion, but the note from Clarence Thomas, he said he's going to be looking and applying this theory, this ideology, that if it's not specifically in the United States Constitution as a right, then he's going to look at other rights that have been granted through law, which LGBTQIA rights are affected very straightforwardly in his opinion, and he's going to start examining those. So we see this as, not only is it stripping women of their rights to make a choice, but it is also gearing up towards stripping away LGBTQIA rights and other rights that were previously things that we believed we've had and were established through legal avenues. So Pride Pixies is very aware of this. We're monitoring this. It's very concerning in the United States. It is a very concerning new route of the law, and I think that they're targeting specific marginalized groups, and so we are very focused on.
So that's the reason why the awareness part is what you're working for, right? If I understand it correctly.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, fine. So let's move forward, because this is such a topic, like it is so overwhelming for me also to discuss it, because I have my heart filled with the same kind of emotions. But yes, we are here to discuss the NFTs and how do we go forward with the technological aspects and sticking to that. So Mr. Donald, can you tell us the step-by-step process that NFT project will take? Like how would it reach to people? Like, you've created, I've understood that, and I'm sure for our viewers to understand it better, the NFTs are being created, let's say, by Ms. Taylor, and it is there, and it has been funded. So how is this whole step-by-step process is going to release and reach to people, and how they can be benefited? What are the opportunities that are there?
Yeah, no, definitely. So we actually are in the process of signing a deal with a partner, and I don't want to disclose any names, but basically this specific partner is going to be helping us collab with close to maybe 20 different NFT projects per month. So that alone, each NFT projects will have anywhere between 4,000 to 50,000 community
Which
members.
area? If you do not disclose the name, fine. But what area?
Well, no, this is going to be globally.
Yeah.
This is global,
Yeah.
right? So these are NFT projects from Europe. It could be North America, South America. It could be in the APAC region. So all these projects are looking to collaborate with another project that has a niche like what we have, which is inclusivity.
And is it connected with any physical asset, real world asset? Are these NFT projects?
Yes. So some of them do have real world NFT assets, right? So if you think about some of these real world NFT assets, I mean, you're thinking about, so in specific, I can just tell you, the one specific project is, an actual investor that owns close to 400 luxury vehicles, right? And these luxury vehicles are like Rolls Royce or Lamborghinis or Ferraris. And in essence, if you wanted to buy one of these vehicles, it could cost you anywhere in excess of $200,000 to $400,000. Not everybody has that type of money, but a lot of people want to drive these type of vehicles. So now, by the creation of an NFT that could sell for $60,000, and it sounds like it's expensive, but in comparison to what a car actually costs of luxury value, like a Rolls Royce, $60,000 is nothing. But you pay $60,000 for an actual NFT, and you would have access to a luxury vehicle for max of 3 months or max of 6,000 miles.
Fantastic.
Right. So that would be like a real life utility for an NFT project that we would collaborate with.
So is it time based? Is this like when you are associating this NFT and the access to the physical world asset, is it for lifetime? Is it like time duration bound? How is that going to work when somebody purchases that NFT, right? If I understand it correctly.
Correct. It's for 1 year for that actual NFT, but if the actual 3 months or 6,000 miles doesn't get used in that specific instance, then it rolls over to the next year, right? And then, after 2 years, it just expires. So you have the ability to sell the NFT once you own it. Say you just bought it and you never get to use it, you can resell it, right? And somebody else has the opportunity to use it.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
But remember, that's a specific instance, and so each real world application for an NFT, you would have to look at the smart contract behind it to see what the terms are of that project.
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right, and then so another example of another.
But the idea looks very fantastic to me. Just started discussing if you buy an NFT, if I understand it correctly, if you buy an NFT for $60,000. Of luxury cars, you can drive with multiple range of cars that you have, which are luxury cars, which might be costing 10 times more at least. And then you have the access to that for a year, right? That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. So you think of it as a car dealership lot with 60 luxury, close to 350 luxury vehicles, which are Rolls Royce, McLarens, Lamborghinis, Maseratis. The best luxury vehicles are in excess of $200,000 each.
Right.
And again, you have your option. Once you purchase one of these NFTs, you have the ability to drive any one of those luxury vehicles for max of 6,000 miles or max of 3 months.
Okay.
So that's real life utility. But again, there's other projects that we'll be collaborating with, which in essence think of ticketing, right? So now ticketing is going to be considered more of like an NFT, right? Where you can purchase an actual NFT, and that actually gives the ticket issuer predictable revenue for the next few or 5 years, right? So now they have, let's say, there's a hospitality industries in South Florida that are looking to issue NFTs. So in the event they can actually have like a luxury experience, you may be able to buy an NFT again for the same type of price. It could be $50,000 or $100,000, and you're thinking, why would somebody buy a $100,000 NFT? But that NFT is going to give you access to fly in with a private jet. It will give you access to a luxury vehicle, just like how I mentioned before.
Yeah.
It will give you the luxury yacht experience. It would give you adult entertainment experience, a dining experience, a condo hotel experience. So a true luxury package that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, an experience that isn't really presented anywhere in the world today. So think of that. If you're familiar with some of these big concert events like Coachella now has seen record sales by issuing their ticketing through NFTs, where now they sell one NFT for $10,000 that gets you access to Coachella concert for the next 5 years. That never happened before. And now through the access of blockchain and tokenization through NFTs, this creates instant liquidity and gives the NFT issuer, the actual creator, predictable revenue and royalties for life in perpetuity. So it's really great to see what's happening right now. It's really dawn of a new engineering experience with the technology that is out there. And again, this is the new revolution when it comes to the internet. Web3 is changing, how we do business today as we see it.
Right. Web3, DeFi, blockchain, everything coming in place, making the whole space very different, experience very different, right? Right, fantastic.
Absolutely.
I love the idea, the way it is coming, and obviously it sounds like something very great, and I actually wonder, what are the various aspects of life that can be, connected, the physical world assets that can be connected with NFTs or can be tokenized for that matter, because that is what is the basically happening at the technological level, right? Fantastic. Yeah. So this was a wonderful conversation. I thank you very much. Thank you for taking your time out. I had a great insight of a new project that is shaping up and would like to know more developments in coming time. I would like that you share more with us, and we'll get in touch again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks to our viewers of 3.0 TV. For more updates, keep watching our latest show of exclusive interviews done on various subjects of crypto only on our YouTube channel of 3.0 TV. Do follow, like, comment and subscribe 3.0 TV on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter. I am Parvati Nirman, your crypto host, signing off for now. Thank you so much and have a wonderful time ahead.